Previously on the hold on a minute. Before we hop back into Erica Mitchell's not so wild ride, it's been a long while and I feel like I need to touch base. I've realized as I've been progressing through the series that I haven't been having as much fun with this book in contrast to Handbook for Mortals. I think I've been reading this book through the incorrect lens. Instead of judging this off of real-world healthy romance novel standards, because this has been sold as a modern Cinderella fairy tale kind of thing. I should have gone with the flow of the dull trash that this actually is. Because like I said, this book didn't sell itself as a dark romance or anything else that's intentionally f***ed up. And no, dipping your toes in the sex trafficking pool doesn't count. If you don't have the courage or a wherewithal to jump into that topic, step away from that edge. Either way, I didn't calibrate myself accordingly, and that has made for a less than pleasurable experience. I went into this thinking that maybe, James grew as an author. I came from a place of giving a shit, to which, cake my face in makeup and call me boo-boo, for I am the fool in this house. You see, my personal goal for 2022 is to have more joy in my life, to touch some grass as a little treat. After 2020 and 2021, I deserve that. I choose to walk into insanity with a smile, not a grimace. So for the rest of the series, I relinquish my f***s. I think we all get the idea by now that this book is just 50 Shades minus the terrifying male lead and his merry old fungin. These main characters aren't the worst ever. Maxim's just a dull, severely out-of-touch creeper boy who doesn't understand that it's not Gucci to prey upon recent victims of sex trafficking. And Alessia is an inconsistent victim doing her best, yet can't help but continually frolic into lions' dens. Bless her heart. Trust me, these two dunder got nothing on some other horribly written characters I'm reading about. That being said, this part covers the last bits I live tweeted about once upon a very long time ago, and I vaguely remember what the hell happened. But I do recall two distinct moments where I genuinely lost my shit, and I still want to at least discuss them. So I'm giving myself only 2 freebies of giving a and after that, that's it. I'll lie back, throw my little leggies in the air, and think of England. We'll all collectively take in the absurdity as it comes and chuckle our way to the finish line. Ha 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 ha. So with that out of the way, previously on the Mister.
Oh, Mister, I feel so very safe with you. Thank you for locking me away for my safety and protection.
Oh, Alessia, you're such a sweetie. Oh, I really shouldn't. But... So once again, Erica Mitchell's word vomit adventure continues with chapter 13, resuming Maxim and Alessia's little bout at that dank-ass beach in Cornwall. This time, it's Maxim's turn to tell Alessia a little bit about himself. He tells her about his dead brother, his still living doctor sister, and his mother. The little scene reads like he's in a pre-K book that's meant to teach kids emotions along with their corresponding visual expression and verbal tone. Like, good job, Maxim! Here's a gold star! They're not exchangeable for sexual advances, but that's not gonna stop you from trying. They walk to a nearby tourist village. Alessia is marveled by its quaint charm, as it's the opposite of how Kukes looks, with it still locked in its hyperbolic time-chambery Soviet days and all. He takes her to this equally quaint little pub for brunch, even though they just had breakfast. Wow, what I would give to have these fictional characters' metabolism. And y'all might just be pondering, it's been a hot minute since we've seen a woman who'd both ogle Maxim and pit herself against Alessia in some manner, and the book would agree with you. So it shows one of Maxim's ex-flings at us. It's super awkward too, cause of course your boy had to f*** his way down the list of townies. And since this is James, women who aren't the main girl are either 1, down bad for the main dude, 2, gay, or 3, a good old-fashioned woman scorned. I'll let you guess which one is chucked at us. Megan, the moody waitress who still isn't over a fling from 7 years ago, stomps, sneers, and scorns in and out of the scene. And in between, Maxim and Alessia continue to get to know each other via Alessia relaying more of her character bio through James's extensive research about Albania. This is the extent of their bonding, them hurling the more you know PSAs at each other. Good God, these two have the kind of chemistry that definitely make my kokoro go dokoro. Maxim flexes his expensive Tory education for a single sentence. I really don't know why this sentence is here, but it just makes me go, what? Like, I get it, dude. You spit on the poor and secretly plot how to defund the NHS, but can we please get back to you restraining yourself from bifurcating this pretty bird with your girthy horsecock? I presume. I find this whole scene damn hilarious, though, because I can just picture James writing this being all like, this'll teach those silly little haters. Not all women desire my hero's single-barreled pump-action bollock yogurt shotgun. There are women that have tasted this paradise once upon a time ago and are scorned because he'll never look at them again. Yeah, Erica. That'll show us haters. As if any of us have much time to dwell on past mistakes when we're too busy barely slaying it today. But go off, sis. Alessia doesn't even notice the thick layer of contempt emanating from Megan, or even consider that she and Maxim even know each other, when Maxim tells her out of nowhere, that goes back several years, ... She's ancient history. Alessia might as well have said, I didn't ask, but cool. Okay. That's all I'm gonna be thinking about for the rest of the meal. Thanks. The two of them have more Wikipedia research exchanges. It goes on for pages. We learn Alessia is an only child, and when Maxim asks her about parents, she's like, of course I have parents. I had to exist somehow, while quirking a no doubt perfectly arched eyebrow. Maxim's like, ooh, the delectable Demarquis has teeth. Ho ho ho. God, you know what though? I genuinely like Alessia when she's like this. When Maxim, the character James seems to resonate more with, as she did with Christian Grey, he'll say anything and it pings off of Alessia and she responds as if he just said the stupidest thing she's heard in that minute. There are rare moments, but I'll take what I can get. We get more of James's research report on Albania. Megan returns and plops down their order of fish pies. Is this James's attempt to sneak in some British food propaganda? In her latest effort to pimp out her Western capitalist utopia, is she also trying to get me to cast away the stereotype that the Brits wouldn't know tasty food if it was flavored with its colonized spices? Unfortunately, we're not following Alessia's perspective during this, so we don't really know her reaction to the plate before her. But, if I went from this to this, I don't know, fam. This seems like a downgrade to me. But enough about me riffing on British culture. The 20-question style of dialogue continues to stream on. We learn Alessia was a student till her university closed, about Maxim's global boy DJing career and how he loves all music. He doesn't have a favorite genre. Like, alright, dullard, go unironically jam out to classics such as Caramel Dance and Leavin' Polka and Nyan Cat. Then get back to me with liking all music. I'm just saying, if you can't narrow it down to some genres, I doubt you have much taste at all. The bartender brings them the bill since Megan was lucky enough to find the escape hatch out of this book and immediately bailed. Good for her. I guarantee you though, despite it not being customary over there, this Tory absolutely did not tip. Frankly, they're lucky he decided to pay at all and not just pull from the local tax pool. Next, they make a quick stop at a general store so Maxim can pick up some nightlights for Alessia. Well, that's rather considerate of him. Cool. The assistant takes the package and returns to the counter, where I spy the condoms. Well, I might get lucky. I glance around at Alessia, who's leafing through one of the magazines. I'll have a pack of condoms, too. So, they return to the beach, in Alessia's tipsy-ass point of view, because I swear, she has not had water since she left Magda's. I guarantee you, this girl is not walking in a straight line. But she's somehow frolicking along the shore some more. The narrator says, she is ... effervescent. This is another thing that kind of yoinked me out of the story, because, like, once again, who is saying this? That ellipsis to me indicates at least a voice, one that doesn't indicate that it's representing Alessia's, just judging by how her, like, narrative voice has been so far. So that makes me think, is the narrator a character now? Because, like I said, the narrative distance has been pretty close to Alessia without actually getting inside her head, and we get more short, sentencey lines that definitely seem like they come from her thoughts. And I'd go deeper into this, and I kind of want to, but then again, I'd risk forfeiting one of my giving a f cards, and I really don't want to spend it here. There are more important things to bitch about, trust me. Those short lines are Alessia internally professing her undying love for her mysterious employer, who spontaneously swept her off her feet to a remote village for her safety, who was stocked up on some condoms. Not some 5 minutes ago, just in case. Good lord. She didn't even bother to wait long enough for the Stockholm Syndrome to kick in. Just go all in on her new captor, full on unhinged energy. Why not? Okay. Yeah, sure. I'm riffing on the naive girl dancing into the horny lion's den. Ha! Look at her making poor decisions. Let's point at mock. But, okay, take a step back here and make a concession. Her feelings fit this characterization. We can safely infer that she comes from a tough home and isn't really used to affection, hence her clinging onto the first person to offer it makes sense. We're seeing her develop an emotional dependency on this newfound sense of security that she's probably never really experienced before. And you know, this can easily veer into the realms of psychological horror. Lord knows I've already felt pangs of unnerving dread for our little dandelion here. But, you know, it can also develop into a romance with time and narrative TLC. It just needs to be a proper slow burn. However, this is the old James. To her, this is true love we're supposed to take at face value. In the end, nothing has truly changed in her writing. Yet, egg on my face for expecting growth. It doesn't even matter. You know, I'm laying out my back pillows as we speak. Okay, where was I? Oh, yeah. Alessia is very, very tipsy and giggly and slipping all over the place. Maxim takes her back to the hideout. He messages Oliver and that needy heartbeat Carolyn that he's gonna be AFK indefinitely and to not disturb him. There's more Maxim being a horny, thirsty getting all randy over some bare leg and then later some pajama PJ pants. But this lustful yearning can only go one way. Maxim doesn't like it when his target tries to turn the tables and visibly thirst after him. He's like, no, I can't do this. I have morals, don't you know? And she's like, oh, this sad. And she struts off. Maxim is a confused boy. He's trying, really f***ing trying to be noble here. Oh, tragic. Woe is Maxim. He's trying to be a nice guy, goddammit. He vowed not to touch her less than 24 hours ago. Maxim can't possibly take advantage of her any more than he already has. Alessia retreats to the piano to play out her feels again. Maxim schleps over and they make up 30 seconds later. Again. Then she sits back at the piano and plays Maxim's song, one of the compositions he wrote after he met Alessia. Then the floodgates of all of his repressed emotions flood out and he weeps. Okay, here's where I cash in my first giving a card. Say on the record that I really like the idea behind this. We've seen some buildup of Maxim not coming to terms with his brother's death, his lingering feelings for Caroline, and his inferiority complex toward his entire family. Dude's got issues. As a result, he spent years pussy-f***ing his depression behind an emotional dam. Now his composing has become his way of trying to manage these issues. Granted, meeting Alessia was a catalyst for doing it, but, you know, he's finally starting to sort through his shit. Starting being the operative word. Dude should probably just see a therapist, but coping is coping. He's got this song that he can relinquish his mental burden on. And then, at the peak of his character arc, he hears Alessia, the shiny new thing that's brought sunshine into his clouded life, play out that part of his soul to him. And it's enough to burst an emotional dam. Maxim would get that rush of catharsis, that sense of closure. He can finally be at peace. So pray, tell me, why am I reading what should effectively be the climax of Maxim's arc 46% in? There could be a multitude of other reasons and methods to get Maxim and Alessia to come together, pun absolutely intended. But if you close out Maxim's storyline less than 50% of the way in here, then like, what the fuck is his purpose going forward? Is he to be passively strung along with whatever's going on with Alessia just like we are? Are we all in it for the vibes now? Honestly, I mean, like, that probably might be for the best. It ain't easy on my simple penguin brain to concentrate when I'm also on my back kicking my little leggies in the air, you know? So, fuck it. So be it. Maxim throws himself into Alessia's arms and weeps, which marks the end of chapter 13, along with the end of me trying to be somewhat kind of constructive-ish. Aside from my last giving a card, we're all like full-on plummeting into madness now, folks. Cuckoo-ca-choo! Anyway, chapter 14, otherwise known as a chapter that finally broke me. It picks up right where 13 ends. Emotions are high right now, and Alessia seizes the opening and kisses Maxim. Ooh, look at James over here, subverting expectations. And Maxim's like, oh my god, no one's ever comforted me in my hour of need, as if Caroline and the book's own opening paragraphs just cease to exist. The climax of grief recedes, leaving only horniness. Goodbye catharsis, goodbye closure. Hello pussy, come on over. His swirl of emotions, the peak of his character arc, is nothing but dust in the wind thanks to the power of Alessia's innocent lips. He's all, you sure?
Yes.
You super sure?
Yes.
Do you want to stop?
No.
I want to make love to you. Do you want me to stop?
Do not stop.
James, I get it. He communicates consent really precisely with the woman he gives an obsessive shit about. Can we please move on? This is why this book's over 500 pages long, man. But yeah, pages are spent in slow, intricate detail of gentle caresses, drawing out the undressing, and leaning hard on the praise kink. You know, if this was a fanfic on AO3, I'd be all for this shit. But James's attempt at sensual prose fails to just, like, grab me by the throat Homer Simpson style. Not to mention the tension buildup to this point was more of a dreading affair than a sexy one. Like, ugh. Nevertheless, he's touching her soft butt and commenting how flawless her skin is. And the first time I read it, I remember thinking, I'm surprised he's not commenting on any body hair. She'd certainly have it. And, you know, if James wanted to subvert more expectations, you know, she'd have some hairy positivity. But then I kiss that spot behind her ear and slip my hand inside her pajamas and slide my fingers over her sex. She's shaved! And it's here that I relinquish my final card. Okay, so please, someone, absolutely anyone, explain to me when and why Alessia would have the forethought to shave. I can understand if the traffickers at some point had her shaved, you know, so that like she'd sell higher, be more presentable to be sold well, yada yada yada. But that was weeks ago, and given her genetics, girl would be back to full bush by now. Don't ask me how I know this. Remember, this is the same backwater bumble who wouldn't splurge for a second pair of socks. What in God's name could ever make me think she'd drop even more quid for a razor? And I'm not even talking about like shaving cream or like soap or conditioner or anything else to make it less red spotty and bumpy. Just a plain on razor. She wouldn't. And don't even try to say she used Magda's either, because like that's gross. Also, like, recall chapter 4 where Maxim's bougie body gets to be hairy, and yet we can't do the same for the reclusively frugal Eastern European. She's gotta be porn star smooth for some arbitrary reason. Bullshit! Absolute bullshit! Okay, that's it. I'm good. Okay, now, where were we? Right, okay, so Maxim's gotta prep our little virgin flower for his, alright, like, please forgive the following cringe euphemisms. I want this video to still be monetized. Okay, so he's got to prep her for his 15-inch meat salami, so his hand travels south to his ultimate goal, and he strums her ultimate prize 4 times, and she comes, and he coos her through it. There's more horizontal kissing and touching and fingering, and look, I'm aware I'm not making this sound sexy whatsoever. Like I said, the scene's meant to come off as like so sensual and just, you know, emotional and romantic, what with how meticulous every action is. But the prose is written as him doing something like an action, and then she goes, ah, and then he does something else, and she goes, oh, rinse and repeat. And it's like he's playing a sex bop it in slow-mo. Yeah, daddy, that gets me He finally whips his dick out, ready to proceed, and is pleasantly surprised to still find her wet after coming twice. Oh, has ya boy been getting sex tips from Ben Shapiro? Like, my dog, it's only been a few minutes. The well don't dry up that fast. Oh my lord. Alessia assures Maxim that she's ready, and then he rolls on a condom and just sinks into that tight, wet heaven. Yay! We did it, folks! We've achieved full penetration! 24 hours after swearing he wouldn't touch her, but we never believed that. We knew he'd push on through, and by God did he ever. And honestly, I mean, he's a considerate lover. This whole thing could have been so much worse. So much scarier. Either way, they both come together, because of course, and chapter 14 ends. 15 picks up immediately after 14. Alessia's all, ow, but not bad. Maxim yanks the condom off and plops that shit on the floor like a disgusting peasant, and notices his hand smeared with what seems like a little too much blood. Okay, I'm aware it's most likely not that messy. However, out of context, it reads as if Maxim just created a Law & Order SVU crime scene like, oh no, my pump-action shotgun yogurt burrito blaster really did bifurcate Alessia. Shit! Yet, like I said before, it was the best sex Maxim's had in years. Why is that indeed, my friend? And yes, that's a rhetorical question, don't answer. But he's riding that love-making high. It's more powerful than being amped up on coke or any drug any day. Which just makes me question the quality of the drugs he took. I'm pretty sure that fool's been fleeced on multiple occasions. And it's what he deserves. Maxim leaps out of bed, goes to the bathroom to draw a bath for them, and he ruminates how he deflowered his daily cleaning lady. And he's sardonically all like, huh, now I'll have to take responsibility and marry her, lol. And I'm over here like, dude, spoilers. Then he saunters back over to Alessia, who's shy about looking at Maxim naked, and he's like, oh no, the penis, oh, I can't, I'm a delicate flower. And he's all like, no, take a good look at me, baby. And a part of me believes that he was also this close to doing a straight up meat spin just to get her to look at him. And you know what? That would have been hilarious of him. He should have done it. But instead, he's like, oh no, we can't have that now. And he just yoinks the blankets off her and lifts her into his arms and like nuzzles and reassures her and like, oh, fine, that's not a bad alternative, but damn it, man, if their relationship was legitimately built up at all, I'd totally eat up what this is supposed to be, this cute shit, and is it fair? Maxim then slam dunks her ass into a bath, gets some champagne, and then joins her. Alessia's still post-coital ooh-woo bliss, practically covering Cinderella's "so this is love." And then they're in the bath for quite a little while. There's some more praise kink shit. You know, Maxim like toasts champagne a couple times. He's like, to Alessia, the bravest, most beautiful, bravest, brave woman who I've ever met. Did I ever say you are just beautiful and brave and spectacular? Go, you girl. And then we get some more 20 question style shit. Yeah, Maxim finally tells Alessia his surname. He then washes, massages, and sucks on her toes hard. I know, I'm speed running through this scene because while it's meant to develop their relationship, it comes off as so mechanical. Once again, there is zero chemistry between them, but That's to be expected when the extent of their platonic development was them merely reciting their own character bio Wikipedia pages. There's been nothing within the past 200 plus pages that demonstrate why these two belong together. James is just smooshing these two dolls together and expects us to applaud it. And like, no, that's just not how the Doki Doki works. Haven't you read any real fanfics that make your heart pitter patter, woman? Oh no, okay, no. I'm starting to give a abort, move on. Okay, so when they get out, Maxim shoves even more alcohol down her throat. And then Danny, Maxim's old lesbian nanny, oh, there's that second option from earlier. She drops off dinner, and my mouth's certainly not watering over more of this feeble attempt at more food propaganda. Like, stop trying to make British food delectable, James. You will not penetrate this barrier of mine. Maxim pops the home-cooked lean cuisines in the oven and is all like, you know what, I feel like assuming some mental dominance while the hungry man dinner meals heat up. Hey girl, wanna play some chess? And Alessia on the sofa nursing more alcohol, minding her own damn business, is all like, okay. 4 moves in and he's dragging his hands through his hair. Maxim tries to distract Alessia by getting her to divulge more of her character bio, and she takes the bait, but still checkmates him a handful of moves later. Maxim's like, thank you for stepping on me, ma'am. Now, our hungry man feast awaits us. They stuff their faces with dinner. It's delicious, and Alessia offers to cook tomorrow, because as an Albanian woman, the kitchen is where she belongs. Maxim asks Alessia if she'll ever tell him why she came to England. And she's like,
Yes, one day.
her mind's all,
One day.
and this tickles me, because I don't know the tone or inflection that she thinks this. Is it,
One day.
or something like,
One day.
or even maybe a little more dramatic, like,
One day.
See, every single possibility can be quite silly. Okay, so after the Hungry Man meals, Maxim tries to stuff dessert down her throat. You know, try and like really plump her up. Or also soak up all the alcohol that he's been funneling down her throat continuously, nonstop. Alessia's gonna easily gain her hostage 15 at this rate. This poor girl. Make it just like, give her a glass of water. Jesus. He's got this shit-eating grin as he finger shovels Banoffee? It's like a banana coffee cake kind of thing. And he's trying to like shove that shit into her mouth with her finger. And then Alessia is like, she takes the hint and then sucks on his fingers hard. And then it is on again. He sensually asks, bed or chess? And I'm like, oh my lord, is he asking if she wants to be sexually colonized on the chessboard? And he'll even use the pieces? Oh, damn. You could really have some fun with that. I should know. I read Skywarn's trilogy. It was like, why would you even want to choose the bed at that rate? And yet, it's what Alessia picks, and we spend the following 6 pages of them having more slow, tenuous sex. It's so mid, it's not even worth riffing in a way that won't get me demonetized. Even trying is just a futile effort. I'll spare you the seconds. After that snooze fest, Maxim lovingly caresses a sleeping Alessia. You know, he's also plugged in the nightlight that he bought earlier, which, all things considered, was nice of him. And then he hopes that her dreams aren't the nightmares she endured yesterday. Let that sink in. Yesterday. Yesterday. Jesus Christ. And that marks the end of chapter 15. God. You know, though, I will admit, James has a gift for manipulating my sense of time as a reader. She'll write lines and lines and lines and pages of short dialogue with less than minimal substance that'll have me fly through them. And then she'll just choose to hit the brakes and have these endless blocks of paragraphy text that go on into long-winded details of descriptions or actions or angsting or whatever. And it's all so incredibly inorganic. Like, James can't wrangle an ounce of investment from me, even though I can tell she's really trying to. But I've seen robots display affection for one another in a more believable way, man. Like, come on, learn how to people. These two have yet to open up to each other on an emotional level, which isn't congruent with the level of intimacy James is so desperately trying to sell to us. The book fails to lean into the heart-pattering, passionate romance, and it's also too much of a pussy to lean into its darker themes. So, like, where are we, dude? It's just this safe, boring pool of nothing, and it's so incredibly mid. And, like, where's the drama, man? Where's the drama?
Why, hello there. So nice of you to drop by. If you'll please become utterly entranced by this crudely drawn hip swiveling, I'd like to deliver my ending spiel. Thank you all for watching. If you like what you see, and how can you not, look at these hips go. Please consider supporting me on my Patreon, where you can get 1 day early access to all upcoming videos, as well as the entire uncut audio of book reviews. You can hear me yap for almost double the amount of time. You can also vote for the next novel for me to suffer through, or enjoy. I'm at y'all's mercy after all. I can even draw sketches for you at child labor prices. Oh, I jest. Kinda. If you're unable to support me on a subscription basis via Patreon, and I totally understand, I also have a Ko-fi page tip jar for your instant generosity needs. You do you, boo. No judgment. Finally, a like and subscribe still goes a long way. I'm eternally grateful for any and all support. You may now peel your eyes away from this sexy, sexy penguin body. Remember to stay hydrated, friends, and take care.